So these are images. So Tang patterns for women's gowns. They like adding patterns. So sometimes we don't see this in the illustration, but the blouse itself can have a big sleeve as usual, or it's tucked in under the top waist, or there could be low waist, right? Or this is what we see in dancers' uniform. You can have a little bit elaborately cut dancers, elaborately cut sleeves hanging down. And then on top of this style, you can wear one more, like a Luchun style waist skirt. Then you would look like this, dancer's costume that looks in pottery. And then if you go to Central Asia area, like a women can wear something like this. It's a tunic, just like a men's. It's a central closure. And then sleeve very tight. And then underneath you have a skirt for women. But if you are not a woman, if you are a worker, then the tunic is a little bit shorter, and men will have trousers and the boots. And then patterns. So doesn't this particular clothes look like a prototype of a kimono? What do you think? Any idea? Any comment? In a kimono these days, what's this? Oh, kimono these days, it's a one-piece garment, right? And then you put the waistband. But because the Chinese culture very much came to Japan in the 8th century, like ordinary citizens' clothes, the prototype of like the kimono style clothes could have made sometime this period. And then Heian period, Japanese women simply added more layers, so that became Juni Hitoe. But this idea is very similar to Japanese, like a hakama. Like hakama is a pants, men's pants, but this is exactly what Japanese men wear, even modern times as a kimono. So these are more diagrams of the hair. So the tall binding, that's what you saw here among like attendants. Or they can make a conch, right? Or they can make this hair, then it's called deserting the family, like a little radical piece. And then these are beauty marks and eyebrows. So this is what you saw a lot in that painting of Zhou Fang's painting here, right? Like the math style eyebrows. And then other times you have a little bit stronger and larger beauty mark. And this is a modern YouTuber. There are, if you search for it, there are Chinese modern YouTubers who imitate those Tang Dynasty makeup. And I think she is trying to imitate these Zhou Fang's, like women, like something like this. Then there are more. We also have a lot of funerary dolls, like figurines, and in it you have this kind of example. So these are like steps showing you, like what do you do first. You have your step one, right, and then you put the cheeks, and then put the eyebrows, and then you add a beauty mark. And then what happens in the 5? You add more beauty mark right next to your lips. And then you put a little bit more of these sign symbols. And then finally, you make your lips small. Do you see the lip, like a smaller lip, smaller than your own? So these are various types of the reconstructed Yang Gui Fei. This epic romance film called Lady of the Dynasty. It's about the Tang Dynasty story, so you will see here. But like, the Juni Hitoe, for example, it's very similar to this type of layered clothing. So Tang Dynasty 8th century is extremely important for dissemination of Chinese culture in East Asia. And do you remember like that big flower decoration, and you have that hanging pieces, right? So this is what costume designer came up with. Or in order to have that hanging pieces, they came up with this kind of golden crown with hanging pieces like this. And the makeup, right? Not too bad. I mean, to begin with, she was a beautiful lady, so I guess that's not. But I think this is the depiction of Yang Guifei.